breaking news on 41 Action News starts right now.
And that breaking news, Kansas City police are investigating 2 homicides this morning. The latest happening near Northwest Harlem Road in KCMO. Jordan Betts live there at the scene right now. Jordan, what do you know so far?
Yeah, detectives are currently talking to witnesses here at this apartment complex. We'll step away so you can kind of see what they're doing right now. This apartment complex is right by the downtown airport, and KCPD said just before 5 this morning, officers got a call about a cutting. They found someone that was hurt, took them to the hospital, but unfortunately they did not survive. Witnesses did tell police they did hear gunshots, though, so we don't know how the victim died or the cause of death. Police say that 2 people were inside an apartment here when suddenly someone arrived.
We don't know the relationship of that person to either one of the people that were in the apartment, but we do think that somebody arrived and is the suspect. We don't have their description. We just know that somebody else showed up.
This is a second homicide this morning. KCPD is working as 2 people were shot and 1 person was killed at 12th and Grand. This would be the 22nd homicide for KCPD. In Kansas City, Jordan Betts, 41 Action News.
Jordan, thank you. Now, that second homicide happened just before 4 this morning near 12th and Grand. Officers found a car. Someone inside had been shot and killed. There was also a man outside the car who had been shot. Right now, he's at an area hospital. At the moment, police have no suspects in custody. If you know anything about this shooting, call the TIPS hotline. The number, 816-474-TIPS. There is a $25,000 reward for information in this case. And a reminder, you can remain anonymous. 8:01 right now, and it's Sunday, February 28th. Let's get a check of the weather on this Sunday morning with meteorologist Jeff Pinner. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. And outside, not too bad at all, as a little weak cold front came through. Just some high clouds at the moment, and we'll have a partly cloudy sky today. 42 now, KCI, 38 Lawrence, 50 Nub Noster, 50 in Marshall. The front now moving through Nub Noster and Marshall, still 52 Sedalia, 54 in Clinton, but 35 in Hiawatha. And as we take a look at the middle part of the country, pretty good temperature contrast, 68 in Dallas, 72 in Houston, 12 in Aberdeen, South Dakota. So the cold air, Arctic air is behind this front, but way up there, and no sign that that is coming in anytime soon. And precipitation, well, saw quite a bit of rain in eastern Missouri last night. We just had a few drops, a few little areas of mist and drizzle. And we have some high clouds coming in from the southwest. That's what's in our sky now. And we have a few low clouds coming in from the northwest. So in and out of the clouds today, but overall a pretty nice end to February. As we take a look at our temperature today, about 51 this afternoon. March begins tomorrow. We'll go day by day through the first week. We are tracking 2 storm systems. We'll have all that coming up.
Thank you, Jeff. 3 Wichita police officers were hurt in what may have been an explosion. This happened Saturday afternoon around 4 o'clock. As soon as the officers entered a vacant house, there was a loud bang or explosion. Wichita's police chief says they don't know whether there was a booby trap, a gun, or some type of improvised device. 1 officer has been released from the hospital. The other 2 are still being treated for their injuries. This afternoon, the CDC will meet to set new guidelines for the Johnson & Johnson single-dose vaccine. The FDA authorized the company's single-dose COVID-19 vaccine Saturday evening. This is the first single-dose vaccine for coronavirus available in the U.S. In clinical trials, it has proved to be 72% effective. The vaccine does require special storage. It's expected that 4 million doses are ready to ship immediately, with 20 million ready by the end of March. Kansas and Missouri's governors joined 20 other governors in opposing the allocation of funds in the latest stimulus package. They say the new stimulus proposal allocates aid based on a state's unemployed population rather than its actual population. The letter from 22 governors claims that punishes states that took a measured approach to the pandemic and entered the crisis with healthy state budgets and strong economies. The letter goes on to say, quote, if Congress is going to provide aid to states, it should be on an equitable population basis. Well, the U.S. House passed President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package yesterday. This relief package would give $1,400 direct payments to many Americans, extend unemployment benefits through August, expand tax credits for families and some low-income workers, and give billions to schools to get students back into the classroom. The bill now heads to the Senate. Missouri Governor Mike Parson posted on Facebook Facebook that the state has launched a new partnership with Missouri's area agencies on aging. If you're a senior, your local agency can help you register for a vaccine, coordinate round-trip transportation, and remind you when it's time for your second dose if you need one. You can register online at covidvaccine.mo.gov or reach out to your local area agency on aging for help. Well, the pandemic took a toll on Kansas City's budget, forcing leaders to cut millions in dollars. On Saturday, people got the chance to have their voice heard at the proposed budget for the coming fiscal year. 41 Action News reporter Nick Starling was at that meeting and shares the concerns of some in the community.
About 100 people spoke their minds inside Municipal Auditorium about this proposed budget, cutting about $70 million due to losses, mostly tied to the pandemic. There was not a lack of passion from the dozens inside this room, socially distant in front of those who ultimately make the final budget decision, the City Council. City Manager Brian Platt says this was a tough budget to put together, but reiterates no layoffs or furloughs are planned. However, some openings will not be filled. The Zoo, Starlight Theater, Arts KC, the Black Archives of Mid-America, Visit KC will all see cuts in this budget. There were some other areas people here wanted to see funded.
I implore you to fully fund the Office of the Tenant Advocate and make sure that it is equipped to implement and enforce our Tenant Bill of Rights.
Thank you. Give us a budget. Let us deal with our problem. Those who are closer to the problem is closer to the solution.
There's a lot of things to fight for, but at the end of the day, we still got to cut $70 million.
The next budget public hearing is virtual only at 10 a.m. this coming Tuesday. Reporting in Kansas City, Nick Starling, 41 Action News.
Tomorrow, the Overland Park City Council will take up a road issue that's getting a lot of comments from neighbors. It's for chip sealing. The city says it's used to extend the life of aging streets until road crews can overlay the pavement. The process involves spreading small chip rocks in the mixture, rolling the rocks to embed them into the street surface. However, neighbors told us the sealing is dangerous, especially for kids who like to play outside.
So we had had chip seal done just several months prior to that, and it had already begun to break away in pieces, and it's continued to do so. I mean, years later, there are giant chunks out of the street, and almost immediately pieces started to come up, and it's a harm to, obviously, to the kids, but also to cars. You know, there's gravel everywhere, and that was what made her fall.
Well, the city's website says compared to other projects, this process is a better value to taxpayers because it lasts longer and is less expensive. Tomorrow's meeting starts at 7:30 p.m. Before we go to break, here's another live look outside on this Sunday morning. You're watching 41 Action News. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. The newest episode of Faith in KC debuts today on KSHB.com and on the 41 Action News Facebook page. The guest is not only the founder of a local nonprofit agency, she's also the subject of this new documentary, Bobby Joe, Under the Influence. Her name is Bobby Joe Reed. She says she was an alcoholic, get this, by the age of 13, and later a drug addict. She spent time in prostitution, homeless, and left for dead. But she got out of that situation, found faith, beat her addiction, and started a home for other women with similar stories.
God created me to do exactly what I'm doing today. There's no doubt in my mind, 100%. And it's not work. It's not pressure. It's just what I'm supposed to be doing. And, you know, if you ever get in a position where when you're serving God as a job or whatever, that you're helping people, it's not a job anymore, and it's just my life.
You can watch anchor Taylor Himness's full conversation with Bobby Joe online and in podcast format. Just search 41 Files. Well, the Golden Globes are tonight, signaling the start of the award season. We take a look at how different the award show will look compared to years past. One of Hollywood's biggest nights is tonight. The 78th Annual Golden Globe Awards will honor the year's best in TV and movies, according to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association. Thanks to the pandemic, this year's edition will look different and could be different in terms of who wins. Stephanie Stanton has a preview.
With movie theaters closed most of 2020, films streamed at home are poised to break through at tonight's Golden Globes.
No streamer has ever won a Best Picture Golden Globe. I think this could be the year that changes.
Best Drama is among the 6 nominations for Netflix's Mank and among the 5 for its offering, The Trial of the Chicago 7. Netflix's The Prom is in the race for Best Musical Comedy, along with Amazon's Borat, the subsequent movie film, and the film version of Hamilton, which debuted on Disney+.
And that's why you're seeing all of these other companies, whether it's Hulu or HBO Max, really working hard to have new big ticket movie releases on their platforms.
What's remembered lives.
Nomadland is also a Best Drama contender, with Frances McDormand up for Best Actress. Her rivals include Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom and Carey Mulligan for Promising Young Woman.
Best Actress is the tightest race, and I honestly would not be surprised if it went to any of them.
That's to get the people's attention.
Ma Rainey also brought a Best Actor nomination for Chadwick Boseman. The Father's Anthony Hopkins earned one too, but he's come up empty in 7 previous Golden Globe nominations.
I think people have assumed he's won, especially for Silence of the Lambs. He didn't win.
In the TV realm, Netflix's The Crown is up for 6 awards, including Best Drama.
Because of the pandemic, this year's Golden Globes will be a bi-coastal affair, with Amy Poehler hosting from here at the Beverly Hilton, while Tina Fey is picking up co-hosting duties from the Rainbow Room in New York City.
I think it will present a new challenge that hopefully will make people want to tune in to be like, what the heck is this going to be?
One way or another.
All right, whoever raises his hand gets to present with Jennifer Aniston.
The hosts expect it to be fun. Stephanie Stanton, NBC News, Beverly Hills.
And, of course, you can watch the Golden Globe Awards tonight right here on your 41 Action News station, starting with a preview show at 6 o'clock, followed by the awards at 7. Then, of course, stick around for 41 Action News at 10. Well, Worlds of Fun is waking up to a little bit of fame this morning. It's made its SNL debut. Take a look at this. Kind of. Look closely at the tweet. You can see the Viking Voyager logo in the background of an SNL skit. So Worlds of Fun tweeted, quote, "No big deal. Just over here making our SNL debut, repping KC. Stand tall, Vikings." So cool. Now, look, I was asleep, so I did not get a chance to watch Saturday Night Live last night. Jeff, wondering, did you stay up late? Did you check this out?
I only saw the very beginning, and then I went to sleep. But I have it on DVR, so I will check that out. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And Worlds of Fun, yeah, unbelievable. Getting to that time of year. And outside right now, the last day of February, it's high clouds. Outside, it's really going to be a pretty decent day to end February, considering also what kind of month we had of weather. 42 degrees right now. It was around 50 most of the night, even in the low 50s. No measurable rain in the rain gauge. We had about a trace. A few little bands of mist came through. Northwest wind at 10. That'll pick up again here during the day. Just a trace of rain is all we had over the last 24 hours. But as we go off to the east, St. Louis had about a half to 1 inch, about a quarter to half inch east of Columbia and Jefferson City. And farther to the east, 1 to 3 inches of rain in a small strip in Arkansas, all the way expanding out towards Evansville, Indiana, and into Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, 1.13 inches near Nashville. So what about around here? Because the current storm system kind of split around us. There's the heavy rain along and east of I-44 heading towards New England, and snow up in the Dakotas and Minnesota. And we are in the middle here. Not much going on. And this afternoon, we will see rain increase again down to the south. Dallas, Memphis, Nashville will be partly cloudy, a little windy, around 50 degrees. Really not a bad way to end February. The average high is getting close to 50. And then overnight tonight, that rain will move off to the east. By morning, clear, calm, and cold in the 20s. As we go into the first week of March, we'll be tracking 2 storm systems. Here is the first one. And there was a couple of model runs that had the storm coming north on Tuesday and bringing a little bit of rain, even a few snowflakes, but it has trended far, far away from that and is going to stay well to the south. So tomorrow we'll be in the 50s, basically 55 to 65 all week. A few days in the 50s, a few days in the 60s, and a lot of sunshine as this first storm system goes way to our south. Oklahoma, Arkansas, some rain on Tuesday, maybe even a little bit of a mix. We will once again be in the 50s with abundant sunshine, and then that storm moves off to the east. Wednesday, probably one of the days in the 60s. Look at all that sunshine everywhere. And then on Thursday, we'll also probably get into the 60s as we track the second storm system. Here's clouds increasing to our west, rain and snow in the Rockies, and it looks like it's heading right towards us, right? And then it turns straight south on Friday. So we'll get some clouds out of it. We might get a few sprinkles or showers, and that would be about it. So when is our next decent chance of rain? It's at least 10 or 15 days away. So go into March and April, the sun angle gets higher, temperatures get warmer, it draws more water out of the ground. So we're going to need eventually about a half to 1 inch of rain per week to keep the yards green. And this is not going to be one of those weeks of rain here in Kansas City, but down to the south from Dallas and Houston all the way to New England. Another 1 to 3 or 4 inches of rain, maybe another ½ inch in St. Louis. But we're not expecting anything of significance around here. 51 degrees, partly to mostly sunny, a little on the windy side this afternoon, not bad at all. Clear, calm, cold tonight, down to 25. And then on Monday, 55. March will come in like a lamb. Abundant sunshine, 5 to 10 mile per hour wind. 58 Tuesday, 65 Wednesday, 64 on Thursday, and even the end of the week, Friday and Saturday, in the 50s. Looking pretty good here, first week of March.
When we come right back, our coverage of Black History Month continues as we look back on the impact the Mizzou protests had around the nation. It's Black History Month, and 41 Action News is looking back at the impact African Americans have had on our area. That local impact made national news when students at the University of Missouri in Columbia protested incidents of racism on campus in 2015. 41 Action News reporter Aaron Ladd spoke with former students, looking back at the actions they took in hopes of inspiring change.
A series of racially charged crimes on the campus of the University of Missouri, and what many saw as a lack of action and response from school administration fed rising tensions in Columbia during the fall of 2015.
I think there is a clear need for change on campus.
It's not scary because of what's happening. It's scary because of the lack of closure and the lack of what's, like, it's not being fixed.
Not just a black and white issue, full pun intended. It's about marginalized students everywhere.
Demonstrations led by a group called Concerned Student 1950 aimed to reaffirm the school's commitment to students of color, demanding the highest ranking officials on campus to make changes.
Racism lives here, and so do we.
One graduate student, Jonathan Butler, refusing to eat until school chancellor Arbo in Lofton and system president Tim Wolf resigned.
What do you think systematic oppression is?
It's systematic oppression is because you don't believe that you have the equal opportunity for success.
You don't.
Inspired by the movement, the Missouri football team joined Butler's strike, telling leadership they wouldn't suit up until Wolf and Lofton sat down.
It's not about us. We just want to use our platform to take a stand as fellow concerned students on an issue, especially being as though a fellow black man's life is on the line.
We're just going to all stay together as a team, and we all made this decision as a team.
Obviously, we got some problems.
Almost 6 years later, former players reflect on their role in a historic moment for Mizzou.
Because if they're not out there playing the games, nobody's out there making money. And when nobody's making money, that's when things get changed.
President Tim Wolf announced he was resigning.
Please, please use this resignation to heal, not to hate. And let's move forward together for a brighter tomorrow.
Should not have taken this much, and it is disgusting and vile that we find ourselves in the place that we do.
No change happens overnight. Those closest still see work that needs to be done, but eager to be a part of the change.
It's really crazy seeing, a university that I dedicated so much of my life to, really become a pivotal point in the history of athletes being able to voice their opinions.
It's about being impactful, not just with statements, but with action within our community and using our influence in a positive way.
Influencing change with eyes on a brighter future. In Missouri, Aaron Ladd, 41 Action News.
Getting on the slopes right here at home. When we come back, Deja Jones takes us to Snow Creek for this week's One Tank Trips. We continue to follow breaking news this morning. Kansas City police are investigating 2 homicides. Reporter Jordan Betts is live at the scene of the latest incident. Jordan, any new updates?
No, we haven't heard any new updates. Detectives are still talking to witnesses here at this apartment complex on Northwest Harlem Road. It's just right by the downtown airport. You can see there's several police cars that are here. It's kind of blocked off, so we have no access to the apartment that's here. KCPD said just before 5 this morning, officers got a call about a cutting. They found someone that was hurt, took them to the hospital, but they did not survive. Witnesses say they did hear gunshots. We don't know the cause of death of the victim, if they were shot or if they were stabbed. Police say that 2 people were inside the apartment when suddenly someone came in.
We don't know the relationship of that person to either one of the people that were in the apartment, but we do think that somebody arrived and is the suspect. We don't have their description. We just know that somebody else showed up.
This is the second homicide this morning as 2 people were shot. 1 person was killed at 12th and Grand, and this would be the 22nd homicide of the year here in Kansas City, Missouri. In Kansas City, Jordan Betts, 41 Action News.
Jordan, thank you. 8:31 right now. Let's get another check of the forecast with meteorologist Jeff Penner. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Brian. And outside right now, as we are entering the last day of February, it has got a high overcast, some high clouds around, most of them off just to the south. It's 42 at KCI, 38 in Lawrence, 35 Hiawatha, 37 in Maryville. A cold front came through about an hour or 2 ago. Just now getting to Clinton, where it's 54 degrees. That's where we were most of the night, between 50 and 55, 52 in Sedalia. And when we look on the bigger scale here, behind the front, there's some pretty cold air. Arctic air, 12 in Aberdeen, 16 in Bismarck, but not coming this way. Winds are already turning to the south there, so we're just going to get the weaker part of the colder air with this front. 72 right now in Houston. Precipitation, well, we had quite a bit of rain in eastern Missouri. We had a few sprinkles, just of a trace around here, maybe 1/100 of an inch. And we have this stream of high clouds moving over us. We're on the edge of those. And we have some low clouds coming in from the northwest. Those will move in and out of the area. So partly cloudy today, and it will be on the windy side and colder than yesterday, but not that bad at all. Still around 51 degrees. We look into the first week of March, tracking 2 storm systems. We'll have the new data on those coming up.
We have a new installment of One Tank Trips this week. The past 2 weeks, Deja Jones gave us some options to stay inside, but this week, she's taking us outside in the snow. Deja shows us all the fun that Snow Creek has to offer.
On this edition of One Tank Trips, we are traveling 44 miles from Kansas City to shred the gnar in Platte County, Missouri at Snow Creek. I mean, just look at me go. Just kidding. This is me. But before I show you all of my skills, let's talk a little bit about where we are and how you can take part in the fun. Snow Creek is a place for all ages and skill levels to come out and ski, snowboard, or go snow tubing.
We offer great lessons here to ensure that everyone has a safe time out on the slopes. Make sure that you can stop safely and have fun. That's what we're all about. And then, those people that want to get better at their skills, we've got that too. Over here, on the very left side, we have our terrain park. So, those people that are super adventurous, want to go off a jump and a rail, maybe not you this first time. And then over here, we have what we call the bowl. So that's kind of intermediate advanced terrain. This over here is 6-shooter. And then over here, we call it our flatland. So it's a little bit more mellow. We've got our beginner chairlift. We've got a rope tow for our beginners that come and join us. So this is a great learning area. And then if we swing around over here, this is Rainbow Ridge. And over here at Rainbow Ridge, that's where we start all of our ski and snowboard lessons.
That's me!
Yep, that's you. And there's a magic carpet there, so it makes it easy for guests to get up and down the slope.
Now it's time to gear up for a ski lesson on Rainbow Ridge.
Okay, gnarly.
How's it feeling? Pretty good?
It feels good.
Good.
I got room, but not too much room, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah.
All right, now I'll strap you in here.
Oh, thank you. Am I supposed to be walking like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Takes a little bit of getting used to there.
All right.
Looking good.
Thank you. I have a big head, so.
How's it feel?
Feels good.
Shake it like this. Okay, bubble it.
I think that was a little much, right?
Hopefully you're not doing that on slope. Looks good. There you go.
All right, cool. You matched my outfit. Thank you.
Now I'm officially ready. Ski instructor Jay is here to teach me some basics.
Arms in front like you're carrying a tray. Okay. Perfect, like that. Elbows, that looks perfect. Elbows just slightly in front of your rib cage. Follow my track up here. And we'll do a nice little turn. Okay, roughly, yep. And so you'll lift up the ski to turn it. Yep, we're just getting used to that sliding motion. Yes, yes! Woo! Awesome! All right, let's see it.
Push.
Little push down. Nice. Good, good, good. Good. Woo! Slow down there, Speed Racer. Slow down. Woo!
I may have started off pretty slow, but they say practice makes perfect.
Don't let the skis do the work for you. Keep that arrow. Yeah. That's it. Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning. Keep turning. Yes! Turn this way, looking up. Beautiful. Back that way. Woo!
And after putting all my practice together, it's time to just go for it. Okay, far from perfect, but hey, I didn't fall. A private lesson like the one I just took is $60 for 1 hour. They also offer lessons for children and groups. Snow Creek is open until mid-March, and their hours vary depending on the day you decide to go. Due to COVID, you have to book in advance, and they are not accepting cash. So go ahead and plan your trip with friends or family.
One tank to rips, sure right in the gnar.
Deja Jones, 41 Action News.
That's pretty fun, and eventually here, the snow will even start melting up there as well. We are going to finish February about an inch below average. We're going to start needing more and more precipitation as we get into spring. We'll look into the first week of March. There are 2 storm systems to track with all the new data coming up.
The 41 Action News Weather Academy. Here's Gary Lezak.
I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak for 41 Action News Weather Academy. Large hail is severe weather. A tornado is severe weather. Also damaging winds, 58 miles per hour stronger, or really about 60 mile per hour winds. When we have this possibility of severe weather, we let you know that there is a risk of severe weather. From level 1 to level 5. Level 1, a few thunderstorms. Severe is unlikely. We're not expecting tornadoes, but you might have thunderstorms. Level 2, that's what we call a slight risk, but we're going to call it a level 2 risk, a few severe thunderstorms. Level 3, what's called an enhanced slight risk by the Storm Prediction Center. We're going to call it level 3. Severe thunderstorms are possible, severity increases and more numerous. Level 4, severe thunderstorms are likely and more widespread. This is definitely a higher level, and we can expect more significant and stronger tornadoes possible. And then the level 5, which is still called the high risk, we'll call it a level 5 risk. Extremely rare, major severe weather outbreak is likely. So this is what we're going to bring you, prepare you for this season. Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Let's hope we don't have too many of these risks. I'm meteorologist Gary Lezak for 41 Action News Weather Academy.
The 41 Action News Weather Academy. Join our Facebook group today.
Thanks, Gary. It's been 2 years since we've had a tornado watch. It is going to be very difficult to have 3 straight years in Kansas City without a tornado watch. But like Gary said, let's hope they are few and far between. Also, another version of severe weather that actually kills more people per year than tornadoes is flooding, and that has been occurring all to our east. Carthage, Tennessee, water rushing over the roads, and this has been going on all through southern Missouri into the Tennessee Valley. We need some rain, and there are 2 storm systems to track. We'll have all the new data coming up.
Well,
Heading into Saturday night, Baylor and Gonzaga were the only undefeated teams in Division I men's basketball. Kansas honoring 3 of their own on senior night. What would be a better senior gift than to knock off number 2 Baylor? We head to the court to find out if they can do it. Macio Teague on the give and go. Mark Vittle with the bounce back. Teague with the layup. Baylor up by 3. Very next possession, David McCormick inside to Jalen Wilson for the bucket and 1. Wilson would make that free throw. We're all tied at 18 and just before the half. Christian Brown with the drive, spin move, layup and 1. Kansas taking a 1-point advantage in the second. Baylor still fighting here. Davion Mitchell to Teague for the tray ball. Corner pocket there and 1. Makes it a 4-point play. Baylor cuts the lead to 3. Next possession, Brown to DeJuan Harris for the layup. Kansas expanding their lead to 5. Late second half, Kansas trying to hold on. Mitch Lightfoot with the hook shot. Kansas now by 7. It would be Kansas's night. Ochai Agbaji with the alley-oop can't connect. But Lightfoot still there with a reverse layup. Kansas sends their seniors out in style. 71-58 victory over previously unbeaten Baylor.
Running out there, we kind of knew it. We knew it was coming. We were saying, like, oh, yeah, they're ready for today's game. And that kind of give us a lot of energy, knowing that our fan base is behind us, knowing how loud they is. It's just like an extra boost for us.
When you're turned up and you play with that much energy, that covers mistakes. And when you're not, it magnifies them. And so tonight we made some mistakes, but they were covered or they were camouflaged because of how turned up we were.
And K-State at number 10, West Virginia, Saturday on a 2-game win streak. Pass inside to Emmett Matthews for the drive and dunk. West Virginia taking a 7-point lead. Middle first half, though, Wildcats kick it out to Rudy Williams for the 3-ball. Wildcats cut the lead to 6. 5 minutes left before half. Mike McGurl getting in on the action now. He knocks down to 3. The Wildcats pull within 2. 2 minutes left before half. Wildcats holding strong inside to Davion Bradford for the flush. K-State within 1 now. Mountaineers with the answer, though. Sean McNeil hitting the 3. West Virginia with a 4-point advantage. Early second half off the inbound. Jalen Bridges for the layup and 1. Mountaineers with a 9-point lead early. Middle second half, McNeil with another 3. And West Virginia just goes on a run in the second half. West Virginia wins this one 65-43. That snaps K-State's 2-game winning streak.
They're averaging 90 the last 5, I believe, and we held them in the 60s. And probably, if we're a little better offensively, probably hold them in the 50s.
We just had a high, and now we got to learn from another loss. So now this is a different type of loss coming off of 2 wins in a row, and all we can do is learn from it.
And number 24 ranked Mizzou not in action on Saturday. Unfortunately, the Tigers game was postponed earlier this week due to COVID-19 issues within Texas A&M's program. After a combination of positive tests from the Aggies, both teams just plan to hopefully reschedule, although a date hasn't been yet determined. The Tigers will be back in action next on March 3rd at Florida.